Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Military personnel and veterans of military service, render a hand salute and join us as we honor America with our national anthem. Performed today by country singer and award-winning songwriter who has collaborated with artists such as Keith Urban. Please welcome Kendall Conrad.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Got me loud and clear? Loud and clear?
Yeah. Yeah, super.
Right.
Go to our right.
To my right. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, good. We're more in my turn.
Test.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, I might put the headset on if it doesn't matter either way.
Yep.
Yeah. When I'm sitting in the well, I think I might put the headset on. Is that okay? Yes. Yeah. Anytime I'm sitting in the well, I want to put the headset on if that's okay.
All right.
All right, so, yep.
Welcome to the 2024 Wild Card Series presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Get internet how you want it. And from American Family Field, we get ready for Brewers and Mets. The roof will be closed. It's going to get hot in here. National League playoffs getting started right here.
As the autumn sun sets, the wild card stage ignites.
There's so much on the line tonight.
A wild one.
The stakes rage like flames, raw and fierce. Catch fire and forge your name in history.
History World Series champs.
These boys of summer don't want to leave.
This one's not coming back.
Got him with the heat.
Unbelievable.
The Mets
What a ride. The Mets are going to the postseason.
and the Brewers.
Get out.
Best of three. Let them cook.
And welcome to Milwaukee American Family Field, the National League Wild Card Series between the Mets and the Brewers getting underway. Game one coming at you. Let's check out the postseason playoff bracket. And in the National League, Mets versus Brewers, the winner will take on the 2 seed, the Phillies, the Dodgers, the 1 seed, and they await the winner of the Braves and the Padres coming up later tonight. And welcome into the broadcast booth, John Shambi and Doug Glanville. Jesse Rogers will join us coming up. I don't know that many people expected the Brewers to be here, and yet they cruised to the National League Central Division title, and they did it by leaning on a number of young players. But when you talk about two guys that really did the job, a veteran and a young guy in Adames, and obviously Jackson Chourio as well.
Well, John, it comes together with those two players because of the power and the speed. They are dynamic. And Willy Adames has turned his career into production from the shortstop position. The ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark and the ability to steal bases and create havoc when he's running. And Jackson Chourio complements him. He's the young side of that equation. He started off a little bit cold, but he ended up hot. 310, 552 slug in September. Look at those numbers. 20-20 for both of them. And look, don't forget about William Contreras, however, the catcher side, who does it all. He stops the running game, he's got power, and he completely wraps everything up around how well their pitching has done this year. 5th in all of Major League Baseball in ERA.
All right, meanwhile, for the New York Mets, very familiar with these Brewers. In fact, they had 3 games right at the end of the year against Milwaukee. They thought they would be in the middle of the wild card chase, and obviously they thought Francisco Lindor would be the fuel for their fire. Well, they needed him yesterday in Atlanta. He hit the huge home run, and he is a legit National League MVP candidate.
Well, when we talk about Francisco Lindor, ask his managers, they talk about the word complete, the ability to impact the game in all facets. Power, speed, on the bases, both sides of the plate, and a key move was moving him to the leadoff position where he could be a catalyst from the top, and then in that #1 slot, he can drive himself in and put that 1-0 on the board. And look at these numbers, 33 home runs, 29 stolen bases. He posts, he's out there, and he leads this team. So there's an X factor in Francisco Lindor, and both teams know that.
Yeah, when they discussed putting him in the leadoff spot, he said to his manager, Carlos Mendoza, look, that's what I did at the beginning of my career, but if we're going to do it, you got to give me a little bit of a runway. Well, that runway is extended all the way into the postseason. He's been brilliant as their leadoff hitter, Francisco Lindor. All right, let's send it downstairs. How about the last 24 hours for the New York Mets? We check in with Jesse Rogers.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey for the Mets here in Milwaukee on Sunday, then flying to Atlanta on Monday for the doubleheader, and then back here last night. I talked to the polar bear, Pete Alonso, about it. He called yesterday's trip a businessman special. Get in, get your work done, and get out. The only difference is they didn't go back home to New York. They came back to Milwaukee, and they did pack for 2 weeks. So they're ready to win this series and then to continue on the road in the playoffs.
Jesse, thanks. As Carlos Mendoza In his first year as manager, one of 3 rookie managers in the postseason, along with Joe Espada and Stephen Vogt. Patrick Murphy actually is not a technical rookie because he managed the Padres. So Murph, sorry. All right, let's check out the lineup for the New York Mets. It is brought to you by Cologuard. See more information at Cologuard.com. It goes Lindor, Iglesias, Nimmo, Vientos, Alonso. Winker gets the start. He's got some decent numbers against Peralta. Marte and right. Taylor, the former Brewer, brilliant defensively, and Alvarez behind the plate. And that Met team will go up against Freddie Peralta.
Look, and Freddie Peralta lives off the four-seam fastball. He's got a nice complement of pitches, but really it's the four-seamer and the slider that he throws to right-handers and lefties. He brings in the changeup a little bit more. That command is going to be important. The thing about him, he lives in the air, more of a fly ball pitcher, and the Mets, to be successful, will have to get that long ball, get those extra base hits going.
One of the things these two teams share in common, both with very good outfield defense. We will see how that plays out as Lindor getting ready to lead things off. A Met team that on the season was 5th in the National League in runs per game, 7th in the majors. They hit a lot of homers, and when you look at this lineup, Doug, for Carlos Mendoza, it would seem like it matches up nicely for the postseason because homers play in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you can't necessarily script it, but when you start off with Lindor, who's been able to show that the power from the top of the order can set that tone, it puts himself in a very good position to win this ball game.
I asked Pat Murphy, are there things you're concerned about or worried about? He said, I wouldn't say concerned or worried, but the focus is that kid at the top of the order for the New York Mets. Well, here is the 30-year-old kid, and we take a look at Pat Murphy in his first year, taking over for Craig Counsell, who departed to manage the Chicago Cubs. And Murph has done an amazing job. Very good chance that he is the National League Manager of the Year. Ready to go here at American Family Field. John Sciambi, Doug Glanville, and Jesse Rogers. National League wild card, game 1. And here we go. Peralta ready to work, and the first pitch of the game is through there for a strike. We are underway. Francisco Lindor, 33 homers, stole 29 bags. And he takes upstairs. He's got a good eye. He gets on base. He dealt with back issues towards the end of the year. There was a 9-game stretch where he was forced to sit. Here's a 1-1. And that one missing down and away.
Well, they missed him a lot in those 9-game stretches, but he provides more than just the productivity. It's the leadership. It's the way that he's taken this team in terms of leading them to the forward.
2 balls and a strike. And a swing and a miss. Both these teams see themselves as resilient.
Yes.
You know, when you consider for a second that, I mean, it was September. Lindor played on September 15th, didn't play again until September 27th, and yet the Mets fought, scratched, and clawed. And now Lindor awaiting a 2-2. Fouls it straight back.
But part of that clawing was Luis Angel Acuna got a chance to come up as a young guy. Didn't have a great AAA, but came in and spelled Lindor and really showed a lot of energy, excitement. Didn't really bring the team down at all in production, so that was a big boost.
2-2. And that's in there. Frozen, Francisco Lindor. And Peralta off to a good start with a strikeout.
Well, he has to establish the fastball. That is Peralta's game. So you talk about the four-seamer. Locating is going to be key here. He's going to live in the air a little bit in terms of contact. But painting on that outer third, freezing Lindor, who was clearly looking for something else.
And now it is Jose Iglesias. And he takes a strike from Peralta. Paints the outside corner. Iglesias, quite a story. A 34-year-old. He signed in the offseason with the Mets. Didn't make the team at a spring training. Lashes that one foul and out of play. When he was told that he didn't make the team, he told Carlos Mendoza, you're going to need to give me a day or two. He thought about shutting it down, going home. Instead, he went to AAA. He was there for the better part of 2 months. Didn't debut until May 31st. And Peralta rings him up 97 with that heater. And the first two are gone on strikes. Freddie Peralta off to the fast start.
I mean, the key here is the location. That is the key. The fact that he's painting it down and away on the black and able to elevate it a tick up to 97 for the extra swing and miss possibilities.
And now it's Brandon Nimmo. No score, just getting started here in the top of the first. And Nimmo swings and misses. Brandon Nimmo, 23 homers during the regular year. Had a big homer in the 8th inning of Game 1 yesterday. Swings and misses there. And here comes the crowd at American Family Field.
Nimmo does a smart thing. He ices the kicker, ices the fan, steps out and calls timeout.
0-2 now. Peralta. A little bit low with a heater at 98. And we see early on with Freddie Peralta, he has been throwing that changeup a lot. That was the pitch he threw the first 2 times. That, the fastball that missed. 1-2. And that's pop foul back in our direction. Mentioned the Mets 5th in the NL, 7th in the majors in runs per game. They hit the 6th most homers in all of baseball. And the home run a big part of their attack. Folks on their feet. And now 2-2.
Well, you wouldn't know it by how it started, but Peralta this year's ERA in the first inning is over 5. It's not something that he's typically known to get off to a good start, but right now he's been right on point with his changeup and his four-seamer.
Peralta ready. He kicks and deals. Fly ball down the left side. That one's slicing out of play. Yeah, for Freddie as well. He carries a pretty hot stretch into the postseason. His final 8 starts of the year, a 2.34 ERA. In the regular year, 3.68 earned run average. Check swing, and he got a piece of it. Just kind of blocked it back to the screen, and Nimmo hanging in there.
I think it's a new thing in baseball. A lot of cricket swings, almost blocking the ball and just to spoil it. But sometimes you spoil that great pitch and hope for that mistake. It just gives you another opportunity for him to give you something you can drive.
Strikeout is such a big part of the game. Peralta is ready and fires. And this one popped up on the infield. Peralta is under it, makes the call, and he makes the catch. Fair catch from Freddie. They go 1-2-3. And the Brewers will come up to hit when we come back.
Test. Okay. Okay, so I need to hold that down when I go on, is the point. Okay, thank you. I'm ready.
The 2024 Wild Card Series is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Get internet how you want it. Back-to-back division champs for the Brewers in the postseason for the 6th time in the last 7 years. And they have a new manager, but not a new face, a guy that Brewer fans and Brewer players are very familiar with. Pat Murphy, 65 years old, the bench coach for Craig Counsell. And here's his lineup, brought to you by Cologuard. See more information at Cologuard.com. Turang, Churiel, Contreras, Mitchell in center. Adames comes up with the big hits. Bowers, Hoskins, Frelick able to play, and Ortiz is batting 9th. And the first offering from Severino is in for a strike.
Well, Severino, that four-seamer, can get that 97. He has the sinker, sweeper, cutter, changeup.
Now, one of the things that Luis Severino did was really shift in terms of the repertoire, but this was an excellent season for him. 3.91 the ERA, and the K rate just a tick below big league average.
Yeah, he really mixes his pitch, and he likes to change his repertoire, his pitch mix, as the game goes along with more at-bats.
Line drive, foul, just down the line. Chris Siegel, the first base umpire, right there, and just behind him, Brennan Miller. And Turang hit it hard, couldn't keep it fair. And there are umpires.
It's going to be key for Severino to manage the running game of the Brewers, because they will run you out of the stadium.
The 0-2. And again, we talked with Carlos Mendoza, and he had what I like to call the Greg Maddux philosophy on shutting down the running game, and that would be don't let them get on.
And that's a tall order. This team is excellent in managing the strike zone. They work their walks as well.
0-2. Line the other way, and foul. Yeah, it's a good point. 4th best on base percentage the Brewers had in all of Major League Baseball. And then the other component is the walk rate. They led the NL in walk percentage, second to the Yankees in the bigs. Here's the 0-2. And that one hit, and it scored past Vientos. Turang around first, racing for second, and he's in.
Well, this was something that Carlos Mendoza, the manager, mentioned right away. Not giving him that extra out, extra base. Gotta defend. This ball was hit almost like a changeup, and it fooled Vientos a hair. So he kind of slow motion collapsed to his knee and didn't quite get in front of it. So by the time it skipped away, Turang, always hustling coming out of that box, took the turn and put himself into scoring position.
Now, Vientos has made strides as a defender, but still some work to be done. The Mets overall about middle of the pack defensively, but better the last few months. That one towards the hole, and it gets through. Churiel in a single. Turang had to wait and hold up, so he makes it only to third. And now they're runners at the corner, so it'll go double and then single, and the Brewers are immediately in business.
Aggressive style. Churiel was not looking to go to right side of the field to move the runner. He was on the attack, looking to jump on that first pitch. And as a result, Lindor pinching over, that hole was vacated. Turang had to hold up for a second, given it was hit to his right, but still manages and gets over to third base.
Contreras and Alvarez saying hello to one another at the plate. So the catchers greeting each other. Severino out of the stretch. Churiel at first. 22 stolen bases. On the ground through the right side, base hit. 3 batters in, and the Brewers have the lead. It is 1-0.
Well, you see the aggressiveness of the Brewers trying to attack. And you talk about a team that has this high walk rate and usually taking the first pitch, but this is a different style of how they've achieved this success this season. They're usually taking the first pitch. In fact, the lowest percentage in baseball at doing so, but not tonight. They said, let's jump on top of Severino early and get that first pitch in the zone.
There's Garrett Mitchell now, 2 aboard. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike. So 3 straight hits to begin. Milwaukee leads it 1-0. And a controlled swing from William Contreras, just punching it the other way. Mitchell here fouls it away. And now 0-2 on the center fielder, whose season got off to a delayed start because of a fractured left index finger. Last year it was the shoulder that caused him trouble and caused him to miss time. Former first-round pick out of UCLA. And that one way high from Severino.
The Brewers do have a lot of young players who they've mixed and matched in terms of platoon switching. They're comfortable now with they need to come off the bench late in the game to be able to get the right situational matchup for their team.
Pitch fouled back by Mitchell.
Mitchell's a guy who will get his walks. He also will swing and miss, almost a 32% strikeout rate. Very good base runner. And in this situation, trying to find a way to get some contact and potentially move his runners over to get that second and third at the very least.
Stauffer just misses. So now 2-2 on Mitchell.
You see the velocity, 98 miles an hour on the black.
Severino ready, 2 aboard, nobody out. And that one misses off the outside edge. Alex Tosi right on top of it. K-Zone showed you. Now it's 3-2. Not the start Severino wanted. The 30-year-old veteran from the Dominican Republic. 2 aboard, nobody out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And he needed that. Early on in the season, he was not getting the strikeouts. And he needed one there, and he got it.
Well, he threw a pitch that didn't even exist for him last season, the sweeper. And he's throwing it with confidence. This pitch turned out to be a neutralizer, 139 batting average on bats that end with it. So this is a pitch he can break out and very much locate as well.
You can see him cupping his glove to his ear just so he can hear pitch come a little bit better. Roof is closed, so a little noisier here inside American Family Field. And now Willie Adames. Adames, one of their leaders, and a guy who will be a free agent at the end of the year. Put together a sensational year with 32 homers. And he takes up and in.
An amazing thing, 32 homers, 28 of those home runs were against right-handed pitching. So he seems to be comfortable, certainly staying in there. He had a phenomenal month of August with 10 home runs in the month.
The 2-0. And that one misses. 97, a little bit low. And now it's 3-0.
Well, this is where the sinker plays for Severino. It's become his pitch to contact pitch if needed. And that's where you try to sink it and get the double play or at least the ball on the ground.
And that one up and in. It's ball 4, and now they're loaded. And Severino is frustrated with Alex Tosi. Francisco Alvarez calling time, and Jeremy Hefner will join the meeting on the mound.
Well, sometimes these mound visits are for perspective. It's not that he's not having his velocity. The ball's coming out of his hand well, but he's got to reset and not let the frustration lead to mistakes in the zone. It's like, okay, you're 1 pitch away. You get the ground ball. You might get the double play. You could start over. But the worst thing for the Mets would be this to unravel, especially with the athletes and speed by which they have on the bases currently, especially also at home, as the Brewers are.
Well, again, Carlos Mendoza looking on and knowing this Brewers team is an absolute handful. Severino, Doug, you mentioned adding the sweeper, but the sinker basically was added as well. And he'd love one added defender and a double play with Bowers up. This one popped in the air. Fouling back to the plate. Alvarez back towards the screen. Alvarez makes the catch. And on one pitch, Bauers retired, and that's a big out, Doug.
Well, they know that Bauers loves to jump on the first pitch. In fact, he's had a lot of success this season. So that's where you put a little wrinkle in the pitch to get him to expand and chase. So location, he tied him up and in. And so he's able to get it. And in that jam position, ended up under the ball and for the pop-up.
And now, with the bases loaded and 2 down, Brewers lead 1-0 in the first. First one to Hoskins. And Reese takes up and in. Reese Hoskins, 26 homers this year. The 5th time he's hit 26 or more homers in a season. And that one got him. Hoskins applauds, and it is 2-0.
Well, one thing Severino is struggling a little bit is that inner corner inside lane to right-handed batters. He's been missing in, and Hoskins, who likes to be on top of that plate, is unafraid just kind of leave that arm out there just a little extra second as he tries to pull it in, but he also knows that's a run.
And now it's Sal Frelick. He keeps trying that outside corner up a little bit and just missing. I think Alex Tosi so far has done a good job. All loaded up. Frelick might have broken his back. Rolled to the right side. Toss to first in time. And the inning comes to a close. The Brewers send 8 to the plate, and they score twice and take a 2-0 lead. Looking forward to that, Kev. Appreciate it, as the Brewers have handed Freddie Peralta a 2-0 lead. It'll be Mark Vientos to stand in as Peralta fires. And a swing and a miss. Doug, you mentioned at the open that Freddie Peralta's four-seamer hadn't played quite what it normally had in the past this year. So far tonight, it's got some jump.
Absolutely. The velocity is there. The location is there.
Back up the middle as if on cue. Mark Vientos says, whatever on the four-seamer. All right, we take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. And when you go with Freddie Peralta's usage. He leans on the four-seamer, the slider, the change, and the curve. So Peralta will go with those pitches as he faces the polar bear. Pete Alonso takes a strike.
Well, that slider, his usage against righties goes into that 31% range versus lefties. So lefties, he reserves the changeup considerably more.
It's always interesting, specific matchups. Pete Alonso this year, the numbers not what he's used to, lowest OPS of his career. He had trouble with spins. You wonder if he'll see more curves or sliders here. Fastball inside. So now 2-1, and Alonso hit 34 homers. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Third on the Mets all-time home run list. 2-1. Three balls and a strike on the Mets' big first baseman. Alonso hitting here in the top of the second. Mets down 2-0, and Vientos is at first. Here comes.
Getting that attack mode. I mean, this is nothing secret about this last pitch. I mean, this is right down the middle. Come hit it. 96 four-seamer. That's a lot of confidence Peralta's showing with that four-seamer, because even times of location, he's hit his edges, but even here, he's like, I got to throw a strike, and he threw it right there, and Alonso swung through it.
Peralta. And a payoff pitch. Alonso able to foul that one back. They'll do it again. Pete Alonso, 29 years old. He played every game this year. 162 of them. Carlos Mendoza for the game 2 of the doubleheader. They'd already clinched. He went up to him. He said, "What do you think?" Pete said, "Yes, I want to play." And Carlos said, "You're in." And he said, "Thank you." That was one of his goals this year. 162. Went a little bit low. Check swing. Did he go? No swing. And that's ball 4. And now Peralta in a little bit of trouble. Well, folks, your team, your players, your home for postseason baseball. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today.
Do you get a free brat with that, or, you know, it seems like it makes sense.
Yeah, I may be wandering away. Yeah, and we got a sausage race coming up. First one to Jesse Winker is in for a strike.
Winker, the Mets are trying to get him going. Certainly the matchup may play well. Really tough September for Winker. 3 for 43 to be exact.
Next pitch is upstairs, and it's 1-1. Winker came over from the Nationals. 44 games with the Mets. He hit just 3 homers. It's the DH spot, so JD Martinez sits.
And the beauty for him is it's October.
The 1-1. And that's downstairs. One of the things Jesse Winker with throughout his career is he's shown an excellent knowledge of the strike zone. Guy that'll take more than his fair share of walks this season. A 360 on base percentage. If you're wondering, the big league average was 320 this year. Peralta fires. And now a tapped foul.
Well, Winker was an all-star in 2021. Just a phenomenal season with the Reds. And this year, no matter what the struggles on and off, the numbers played very well in scoring position where he hit 327. So there's some upside that the Mets are banking on here for him to find his best game in the postseason.
Played with the Brewers last year. He hits with 2 on. And that one down and away, and that was a ball out of hand from Freddie Peralta. So now it's filled up. So after mowing them down in the first inning, Peralta in some trouble here in inning number 2. Vientos at second, Alonso at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Jesse Winker with Marte lurking in the on-deck circle. Game 1 of this National League Wild Card Series. The Brewers were at home for this series last year and promptly got swept by the Diamondbacks. Pitch hit on his hands and fouled off. And Winker will see another 3-2.
Well, that's a good pitch by Peralta, whether totally by design or not. It's just he's been so focused against lefties away with the changeup. Got to keep them honest by being able to attack that inner third and getting him thinking about it. And that opens up the changeup and the outer third even more.
Peralta deals. That one scoop back to the screen, and Winker staying alive. Freddie Peralta, that good fastball. Chris Hook looking on. I don't know whether he's talking to himself or is he talking to Pat Murphy, but
it's like, come on, man, throw this pitch right here, throw it, come on. We talked about this. I guess that's his voice.
Line drive, and that's a fair ball. It's headed towards the right field corner. In to score is Vientos. Here comes Alonso around third as it's dug out of the corner. Into third is Winker. And Jesse Winker with a 2-run triple. And it is 2-2.
Well, a great piece of hitting by Winker to stay back on this ball. Look at the grip there. It comes in a change-up motion. He's one-hands it. Now, right field, the corners here in Milwaukee are absolutely humongous. 345, and they're playing him a little bit shaded towards center, so the right field corner is wide open. So Frelick has a long way to go. They botched the cutoff, and he just cruises into third base. He is fired up.
The former Brewer doing it. Last year was a rough year in Milwaukee for Jesse Winker. And he and Adames are doing some chirping at each other. So Winker and Adames still barking. Alan Porter, the crew chief's at third and stepping in between them.
Well, maybe he was supposed to pay a toll going from second to third or something. I don't know.
Infield comes in, and now it's Starling Marte. And that one in for a strike.
With the infield in now with the Brewers, I mean, this hitter's delight here, just trying to either get the ball in the air or hit the ball hard. Brewers trying to cut down that extra run here.
Pitch down low to Marte. The 1-1. And Marte takes outside.
Right now the command is eluding Peralta. Even those 97 outside, they're opposite of where his catcher William Contreras is setting up. So he's not hitting his targets as well.
The 2-1. And that one misses off the inside edge. 21 pitches in the inning for Freddie Peralta, and still nobody out. The Mets have come right back and drawn even. 2-2. The kick, the 3-1. Line drive center field, chasing back Mitchell, gets turned around, reaches up, and he makes the catch. Winker tags, and he'll come in to score, and just like that, the Mets had the lead.
Well, any hitter at this moment, once he's established he's trying to get the ground ball to strikeout, you make him elevate it. That's what Marte was able to do. And kind of scary for Mitchell in center, because if you get turned around, you can really tangle your feet in the outfield as you're going towards the wall. And there's no help when the ball's hit right at you like that. But he was able to recover and get the catch and sac fly for the Mets.
And now another former Brewer in Tyrone Taylor. And the first offering missing outside. And already activity in the Brewers bullpen. Milwaukee with a brilliant relief corps this year. Taylor, big swing, and he comes out from underneath his helmet.
Taylor is very much a pull hitter, and he picked up his game when JD Martinez went through his struggles and they started sitting him a little bit. Taylor got hot, and he gave him a lot of extra offensive power in September.
Taylor fouls one away. The Brewers pen posted the best relief ERA in the National League, second best in all of baseball. And yet, that said, the last thing Pat Murphy is looking for is for Freddie Peralta to get chased out of this game early. 1-2. Taylor getting the start in center field. And a swing and a miss, and Peralta gets it. Might have been a foul tip into the catcher's mitt. 2 away.
Well, Peralta has taken this leap forward as being the ace. I mean, in the ace trying to make the big pitch, he gets that slider location perfectly placed, 85 miles an hour, so it serves as almost a changeup off the fastball with some spin. And that's the ultimate combination of being able to fool a hitter.
Yeah, he is the ace. Corbin Burns traded. Brandon Woodruff on the IL with a capsule tear in his shoulder. Hoping he'll be healthy and ready to go for next year. And a pitch outside to Francisco Alvarez.
And it's a different role when you come into that season. And you say, oh, well, you know, this is on me. He's got to set that tone, more innings, make sure you're trying to get every start. He accomplished a lot of those goals.
The 1-0. Fouled off at the plate. That was pitch number 29 in the inning.
Yeah, talking to Freddie yesterday, guys, he did not shy away from being this ace that he really wanted the ball. Remember, they had a huge lead in this division. He knew he was getting this ball a while ago, and unlike the last few years, there was no other choice than Freddie Peralta for this game.
Next pitch missing. Peralta has made a couple of postseason starts, including game 2 last year where they were eliminated. Went 5, gave up 4 runs. His career postseason ERA 3.46. That's over 13 total innings. The pitch. And Alvarez with a big swing. And now it's 2-2. Mets didn't have Francisco Alvarez for a good chunk of the season. He was out with an injured thumb. Good-looking young catcher. Next pitch downstairs.
Well, it was a big loss for them early in the season because he had taken such a leap forward in being the catcher, leading, managing, confidence, and also just his offensive production.
3-2. And this one popped up on the infield. Hoskins comes in, and he's got it. Willie Adames and Jesse Winker barking at each other. These two teams got into it. First series of the season. Mets with the lead. Willie Adames, one of their leaders. You saw he and Jesse Winker getting into it. I think we figured out what happened. Watch Winker. Watch him say something. It looks like right there he barked something at Adames. And Willie turns his head. I think that is what happened. And then those two continued their chirping. When Adames went to the mound, Winker was saying something to Willie. As Ortiz fouls one away, and I alluded to it as we went to break. Remember the first series of the year, a hard slide at second base. Rhys Hoskins going into Jeff McNeil. I don't think that's related. It would seem like Winker and Adames, that one's more about playing together last year as Alonso handles that chance.
So here's that sliding over the base. Now Hoskins goes right into the base. He goes past it. Hard slide. He didn't even know what was happening, and McNeil took exception to do the tears. A lot of jawing there, and spilled over into post-game interviews and everything.
First offering to Turang all the way to the backstop. But my guess would be that if Jesse Winker is barking something at Willie Adames heading towards second, that probably has more to do with the two of them and a past specifically personal relationship. That one lined the other way, and Turang with a base hit. He can really fly around first, on his way to second, and Turang is in. It's his second double. This is a Brewers team that can absolutely fly. By StatCast sprint speed, they're the fastest team collectively in the majors.
And most importantly, they use their speed wisely. They steal the bases. They use it on defense. Look at the choke up, punching it the other way. And Turang is excellent going to the opposite field. Over 400 when he puts it in play that direction, but never breaking stride. The hustle, saw the double. And once again, the nightmare of this team is you keep Turang getting on, the leadoff hitter, and then rolling into Churio Contreras. That is a tough team once they have these guys getting on and grabbing 90 extra feet.
And now Jackson Churio.
Good shot, boy.
I'm trying to think, like, if I'm coming around the base, I'd be more worried about the coach, right? I can't imagine taking the eye off the bag to jaw at someone. I don't know. But emotions run high right now.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Here we are. Let's see who gets the last jaw.
Check swing, Churio, no swing, says Chris Siegel.
Well, you know, Churio, you talk about, he had a very tough April, a lot of strikeouts. Just swinging at everything and then just put it together. That's hard to do at the major league level, make those adjustments.
High fly ball out towards left center field. Nimmo makes the catch. Turang will stay put, and there's two away.
We talked in the open about Churio and Adames, both 2020, and just athletic, speed, and power.
And here is William Contreras. Contreras with an RBI single his first time up. Fly ball in the air out towards left center field. Taylor and Nimmo. It'll be Tyrone Taylor to make the catch. Severino pitches around the double, and the Mets have the lead. Back inside American Family Field, the Mets have a 3-2 lead as we take a look at ESPN Bet and the live money line with the Mets on top. Their money line, it's -160 to win 100. ESPN Bet is the official sports book of ESPN. New players can get their first bet on tonight's game insured up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Scan the QR code to download the ESPN Bet app and get started today. What a play. Mets with the lead. Jesse Winker, the DH, with a huge 2-run triple as Lindor, first pitch swinging and fouls it away. Freddie Peralta, a 32-pitch second inning, the most for him in any inning since July 6th. So we'll monitor him, and he's working a little too quickly for Lindor's liking. Francisco Lindor mentioned he's had some back issues. And I think it's fair to say that if not for one of the most historic seasons we've seen by Shohei Ohtani, he would almost certainly be the National League MVP. More than likely, he will end up as the runner-up.
It's hard to compete with 50-50 and almost a triple crown. But I think it's important to note that Lindor, just at this high skill position as a shortstop, out there every day on the defensive side, impacting the game. You know, that is such a huge bonus of what Lindor is bringing to this Mets team.
The 1-2 on the ground, but pulled foul and past Anton Richardson, who does the coaching down there. All right, so you look, from an OPS standpoint, it's a big advantage Ohtani. Home runs, RBIs, and the wins above replacement. Now, you know, you're going to talk intangibles. Obviously, the defense, it is baked in to wins above replacement as he laces that one to center, and Mitchell is right there.
Yeah, well, when you talk about and talk to the Mets about Lindor, then you hear so much about the other elements that Ohtani can't do right now. I mean,
sure.
He's not playing a position at shortstop, all the things that are required of him. Now, I'm sure if Ohtani played right field, he'd probably win a Gold Glove, but not this year. He was purely a DH.
Iglesias hits that to third. Ortiz on the backhand throw to first in time. Joey Ortiz, brilliant defender, and a guy that is very likely going to be their shortstop next year if Adames departs via free agency. Pitch in for a strike to Brandon Nimmo. John Shambi, Doug Glanville, Jesse Rogers, thanks for joining us here for the Mets and the Brewers National League Wild Card Series. It's game one. Ball to strike. Peralta delivers.
Nimmo with that changeup. Peralta usually working this two-pitch mix against lefty, so it's key he can locate them both. Otherwise, they eliminate one altogether.
Swing and a foul at the plate.
Good mixing it up there, throwing the slider, kind of back foot. So that quickens up. Nimmo looking in. Tries to give him something to consider away with that four-seamer in his back pocket and the changeup.
Peralta ready, fires. And a swing and a miss struck him out. Peralta bounces back, gets him 1, 2, 3. On the other side, we will visit with the Brewers' Christian Yelich.
Got it.
Hi, Christian.
Yeah.
You can wave to me, buddy.
Like, which camera?
Yelly, you see me?
Where are you at? Oh, there you are. We're good.
What up?
Let's go.
Bottom of the third, Mets lead the Brewers 3-2, game one of this National League Wild Card Series, and we're joined by the Brewers' Christian Yelich down the first base dugout. This has got to be weird for you. You got a chance to get introduced, but you're not playing. You're out following back surgery. Is this hard?
Yeah, of course it's hard. I mean, you want to be out there and you know, try to contribute and help the guys, but they've done a great job throughout the year and put us in this position we're in right now. So. Hoping they can make a deep run, and we'll see what happens here.
I want to ask you about your manager and the impact he's had on the team. Obviously, you had a close relationship with Craig Counsell, but what's Murph done for this team, and what's the vibe been for you guys?
I think we've been loose. You know, I think there's always a focus on winning here, and we've done a really good job of that over the last few years, especially with Murph. You know, Counsell's awesome. Obviously had a great relationship with him, and the fact that Murph was here for so long and really knew everybody made it an easy transition, and everybody here loves playing for him, and we've kind of taken on his attitude a little bit.
All right, so you gifted him a jersey. Those familiar with the movie Dodgeball, can you just take it from there, please?
Yeah, I mean, we gifted him a Patches O'Houlihan jersey. I think we kind of started calling ourselves Average Joes over here for a while, you know, just because that's just what we feel like we embody a little bit. And anybody that knows Murph and has seen that movie, he's pretty much a carbon copy of Patches O'Houlihan, so it only felt right to get him a matching jersey.
So are you guys technically taking on Globo Gym right now?
Oh yeah, we've been taking on Globo Gym all year, but you know, I think this would be a perfect matchup of Globo Gym versus Average Joes, and you know, hopefully this story turns out just like the movie did.
Tell me a little bit about the impact you're trying to have, just being sort of a de facto coach. You and Wade Miley both injured and sort of taking up that position.
Yeah, you know, really you don't go out of your way to do anything different or try to be a coach or anything like that. You know, these guys have done a great job. They're all really good players, but they're also young players, and sometimes it's easier to have a player as a sounding board than it is a coach sometimes, or it's easier to approach a player than it is a coach. And got to know all these guys really well, and any questions they've had, just try to help them along the way. But you know both guys pretty well, so
yeah,
you guys can decode that one.
I tell you what, you've done a lot of television the last couple of weeks. I thought you dodged that really nicely.
Very nice.
Hey, you know more than me, but you know, you can see for yourself what's going on out there, and I'll let you guys piece that together for sure.
Willie Adames, a guy that put together a really good year. What about the impact he's had on your team, both on and off the field?
Willie's awesome, man. He's a guy that, you know, I'd play with Willie any day of the week, and in big games especially, he's going to show up every time. And he's been a tremendous part of what we've done here over the last few years, and a big reason why I've been so successful. And what a year for him, you know. I couldn't have asked for more, and he stepped up, and we've had a lot of injuries and adversity throughout the year. He was kind of that one steady piece that was out there every single day, him and William, and really just giving us a jolt of energy whenever we really needed it.
Fouled back by Adames. How about in terms of just watching this team and the athleticism and the speed?
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible how many guys you have who can really run.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little different than you would probably think when you think of offense, but I think you need to identify your strengths of the team and try to utilize those to the best of your ability to gain an advantage and try try to find ways to score runs throughout the game and put as much pressure on the other team as you can. And I think we've done a really good job of that this year, and we can continue to improve on it. I think this group's going to be together for the next few years, and we have a lot of young pieces that are kind of just learning the game, learning how to steal bases, learning the bunting game, small ball, times to do it, times not to do it. So it's something that's a huge part of our game, but I think it's going to continue to grow and get better as we continue to play together.
Well, Christian, can you speak to the emphasis on defense? You've also done that on that side of the ball as well.
On defense, sorry, you cut out there for a second. Defense?
So on the defensive side of the ball, just how well your team has played, especially you mentioned with a lot of young players.
Yeah, it's a huge emphasis here. It's been important since the day that I got here, and we have some really impressive young defensive players that change games. Defense changed games. Bryce Terang, Sal Frelick, Garrett, Churio, Willie, Joey, really all over the diamond. We got guys that can play some defense, and you can win games like that on your own. And you don't realize how much it shows up until there's not a double, there's not a base hit, and then that leads to a walk and then another hit, and that's bigger innings. When you make outs and kind of shorten the game a little bit like that, then it changes things.
Adames pops that one up. Alvarez in foul territory, and Severino trying to make sure he doesn't step on the mask. Adames gone for out number 1.
Well, Christian, one thing we heard about with Pat Murphy is instituting a leadership council, like a group to kind of talk through. They always say, the manager always says, oh, that my door is always open. Well, his door seems to be open, and he does it through a group of leaders. How has that played out for you?
Yeah, I think it's probably different than most places, but we've had a meeting every month at the beginning of each month with the whole team, and everybody's free to speak in it. Murph obviously leads it off and talks, but everyone's free to speak in it, and can be about whatever. What we liked from the past month, what we didn't like, what we need to do better, what we did well, and what we'd like to continue to emphasize. And it's just kind of a check-in and see where we're at as a team. And everybody's allowed to speak, whether you've got 10 years in the league, whether you've got a week. Everyone's allowed to contribute to it. And then there was a group of players that would meet with them from time to time to talk about whatever, if something needed to be addressed, or we could do something better, or something we'd like to see, or something he would like to see from us. And it was just a constant flow of communication and check-in with where we're at as a team. And we were always the goal behind it all was just always trying to get better, and how can we improve as a group individually. And it's something that I actually personally really liked.
Severino's 2-2 is ripped, but foul down the right side. Jake Bauers fouling that one off. I should say now 2-1 on the designated hitter. Brewers jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and the Mets coming back, and now 3-2 New York in the bottom of the 3rd. American Family Field with one out. Mitchell at first. Bauers waits. Here it comes. Line drive, base hit out into right center field. Mitchell around second. He's racing for 3rd. And the throw is cut. They're at the corners. And the Brewers are in business.
This is something that the Brewers continue to do exceptionally well, and that is always looking to stretch that single, going first to 3rd, first to home if necessary on the extra bases. And so this is putting themselves 90 feet closer to that goal. And so the attack of Bauers in the lineup for this reason, give that left-handed matchup for Severino, who is considerably weaker against left-handed batters. And so it played to perfection for the Brewers.
Rhys Hoskins here with runners at the corners. The Brewers threatening. Hoskins hit by a pitch and forced in a run his first time. And that one hit on a bounce out to short. Lindor to second, 1 touched the first, and that's 2, and that ends the inning. Severino gets out of it. Christian Yelich, thank you for doing this. We appreciate it. Good luck to you and the rest of the Average Joes.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Welcome back to Milwaukee with the manager of the Mets, Carlos Mendoza. How big was that ground ball just now to get that double play?
Yeah, it was big, especially facing a really good hitter on Hoskin. And they're putting together some really good at-bats. They're now chasing out of the zone, which is one of the things they do well offensively. But for him to go back to that two-seam right there and get the ground ball was huge.
Yeah, those good at-bats are causing a little bit of a grind for your starting pitcher. What do you think of Severino, and how long can he go?
Yeah, so, we'll be watching. I thought that inning that they put that rally together, he was missing arm side. And like I said, they do a good job controlling the strike zone. He just got to continue to make pitches, continue to slow the game down, and he'll be fine.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, you got it.
Back to you, Bo. Welcome back to Milwaukee with the manager of the Mets, Carlos Mendoza. How big was that ground ball just now to get that double play?
Yeah, it was big, especially facing a really good hitter on Hoskin. And they're putting together some really good at-bats. They're now chasing out of the zone, which is one of the things they do well offensively. But for him to go back to that two-seam right there and get the ground ball was huge.
Yeah, those good at-bats are causing a little bit of a grind for your starting pitcher. What do you think of Severino, and how long can he go?
Yeah, so, we'll be watching. I thought that inning that they put that rally together, he was missing arm side. And like I said, they do a good job controlling the strike zone. He just got to continue to make pitches, continue to slow the game down, and he'll be fine.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, you got it.
Back to you, Bo.
All right, Jesse, thanks very much. Carlos, appreciate it. By the way, Luis Severino at 53 pitches. That's what Jesse was asking. Meanwhile, for Freddie Peralta already at 62. Vientos here. Right-hand hitter waits. And Vientos pushes it foul.
Well, in these games, there's not a lot of room for the starters, so they get in trouble, especially once you get past third, fourth inning. They're going to come get you because they're going to look for matchups. I mean, everything is on the line. Everyone is available.
The 1-2 and a swing and a miss, and Peralta gets the strikeout of Vientos. Folks, eligible Capital One Rewards card holders, you can redeem your rewards for tickets to the MLB postseason on Capital One Entertainment. Visit CapitalOne.com/entertainment for more information. First one to Alonso, and that one hit on the ground towards third. Ortiz handles, and out number 2.
Well, this is the kind of inning Peralta's looking for, to get the quick out early in the count, pitch to contact. Once you're not getting that swing and miss as you're accustomed to, you can try to get those quick outs, because the Brewers have a phenomenal defensive team. They're rated in every type of metric in terms of the top 5. They're an excellent defensive team. You might as well use them.
So here's Winker now, a 2-run triple his last time up. Peralta deals, and he went changeup and missed with it. And that one back up the middle and gloved by Peralta, racing all the way over and underhands the first. 1-2-3 go the New York Mets. Kev X, thank you. And Sal Frelick here takes upstairs and ball one. It'll go Frelick, then Ortiz, and then Terang. 8-9-1 for the Brewers.
It's amazing Frelick is on the field. Was doing the game last week when he ran into the wall and just caught a strange recessed section that had some metal in it and really hit his hip hard.
Shorts to bunt, takes a strike.
We saw him the next day and he didn't look very good walking around. It's pretty amazing that he's out there, but it was said like, hey, if he's down and hurt, he's really hurt.
In there for a strike. Frelick didn't like it. Two. Inside. Frelick, the Brewers' first-round pick out of Boston College back in 2021. Really athletic. He can run. Excellent defender. 3-2. And a line drive and a base hit out into right field. Frelick around first, racing for second. And Frelick dives in head first. He's got a double. How's your hip?
Seemingly fine, but he fights it off. And you just talk about how vast it is in that right field corner. There's so much ground to cover for the outfielder. And because of the angles you have to take in such a big area, you can turn a single into a double, especially this Brewers team that is so aggressive, so fast, and so willing to take the risk.
Gritty kid who grew up in Boston. And now it's Joey Ortiz. And the pitch in for a strike to Ortiz.
And we talk about small ball. The Brewers will bunt at any time. They will move runners.
down and away. One of the things that bears watching, Alvarez, good framer, not a great blocker, and that is an issue at times. Got an excellent arm.
Well, blocking today is almost like scooping. You're more like a first baseman than you are a traditional.
Well, look how he's set up. I mean, and that is the way they're taught. And as much as anything, catchers in that one knee scenario, even with runners on base, the priority is getting strikes and putting that left arm in the best position in order to catch the ball, present it to the umpire, and get strikes.
But it kills your ability to laterally move and get in front and block.
Next pitch is in there, got him looking. And Severino rings up Ortiz, and that's a big out.
And the 98 at the knees. I mean, this had some hair on it, but you see Alvarez sets up early. He's like, oh, go up, and then kind of comes down into his crouch. But I mean, he puts it right there, and you see the frame how he pulls it up.
Yep.
That's what happens in that position. It's a huge advantage in that one knee position. So you'll trade off that for missing a ball in the dirt.
Meeting on the mound, the Mets pen is quiet right now. And a reminder, college football feature games coming up. Number 5, Georgia hosting Auburn Saturday afternoon on ABC. Saturday night, it's UFC 307. The main card starts at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view. Our Week 5 Monday Night Football matchup is Saints and Chiefs. And we got our NHL opening night triple header on ESPN. It's all coming up. Pitch in for a strike to Turang, who's got a couple of opposite field doubles. Mets 3, Brewers 2. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Frelick the runner at second. Turang scoops it foul. Bryce Turang, another of the success stories for the Brewers in the first round. First round pick back in 2018. His dad, Brian, had some time in the majors. Played as a utility guy with the Mariners in '93 and '94. Frelick edging away at second.
Well, one thing Pat Murphy did early in spring training was to say, it's your job. Turang, he announced saying, Bryce Turang is my second baseman. And, he had some doubters hitting lefties offensively. How is he going to perform? But 50 stolen bases later.
One foul away from Moore. Let's send it downstairs and bring in Jesse Rogers.
Here, it's like he's not even hurt. I mean, he's bouncing around at second base. He ran that double like he didn't get injured over the weekend. It's amazing because Pat Murphy said yesterday he was pessimistic that this guy would be on the roster, let alone running the way he is.
And so Frelick with the 1-out double, and now the tying run in the form of Frelick in scoring position. One of the things cool, Sal Frelick grew up in Boston, huge Red Sox fan, no surprise. He's a smaller type guy. His favorite player, Dustin Pedroia. Well, Dustin Pedroia played for Pat Murphy at Arizona State. Next pitch downstairs, and now it's 2-2. In this past spring training, Pat Murphy connected Sal Frelick with Dustin Pedroia because in spring training they were looking at Frelick possibly to play third base and some infield. Well, now his longtime hero is his texting buddy, so he gets to text with Dustin Pedroia all the time. The 2-2 is laced the other way, slicing foul.
And Pedroia played the game larger than life. I mean, he was so good. And, certainly the assumptions made about his size, became a driver and a motivator. I know Pat Murphy supported him just to be like, you know who you are, just remember. And Pedroia had this phenomenal career. And Frelick, I mean, he's scrappy. He's going to battle every pitch and play through injury, clearly.
2-2. Bounce towards the left side, in the hole, no play. Lindor will flip back to second. That'll be an infield single, and Bryce Turang with a 3-hit day. So the Brewers with 2 aboard and 1 out after that infield hit. They led the majors in infield hits.
Well, you're watching how Lindor is playing so far towards the middle. He's really conceding that hole. He's also at a pretty sharp angle. He's not giving himself the depth. And there's a strategy behind why he's so far on the dirt. But that angle has made it hard for him to deal with that hole. And certainly Turang can run well. And we saw a ball earlier get into left field, in part because the sharpness of that angle. He's so shallow from the shortstop position.
Here's Chourio now. Swing and a miss. Jackson Chourio caught fire as the season went on. You go from June 26th to the end of the year. Only 2 players established a higher wins above replacement. Shohei Ohtani and Francisco Lindor. Line drive, base hit center field. Frelick around third. Jason Lane's going to send him. He's in to score. The throw is into the pitcher's mound, and Alonso grabs it, and we're all tied up. Heads up base running there by Jackson Chourio. As out in center field, Tyrone Taylor bobbled ever so slightly.
Well, this is the nightmare of their speed. Now watch Chourio right out of the box. He doesn't hesitate. And the way the Mets play this in terms of cutoff and relay, there's nobody at second base. There's nobody there. So Chourio sees that and just takes off, knowing he could beat him to second base. And Iglesias knows and look at his face like, okay, that was a mistake. So they got out of whack in terms of positioning, and Chourio just literally outran them to second base. And this is what the speed does. We knew the first to third pressure. We knew that the runners are going to be able to score on a hit. But Chourio puts himself in the scoring position by heads-up base running, reading the play, and knowing the Mets were completely out of position to defend against him.
Jeremy Hefner retreating back to the third base dugout for the Mets. They've scored that at double. Feels a tad generous. And Jose Butto is up for the New York Mets. Man, both these teams, there is a lot of grit, and we use that word resiliency. Second and third, 1 out. Check swing, appeal to first, he won. There's Siegel down there on the call. William Contreras, an RBI single, and he's flied to center. Brewers have tied it at 3. And this one lifted in the air down the right side. That one's slicing. And they'll get out of play.
Well, one of the words that the Brewers have used this year is undaunted. And that's how they play. They seem unfazed. They're still aggressive no matter what the count, the situation. And it's amazing how much they can walk and get on base, yet be passive on that first pitch.
Yeah, Pat Murphy got them T-shirts that says on the front, undaunted. And the definition, not intimidated or discouraged by difficulty, danger or disappointment, undaunted.
I like it.
The 1-2 is downstairs. Even the manager up the road, their old skipper, got into the act. Craig Counsell talking about the gap between the Cubs and the Brewers, and he said it's big, it's daunting.
Yeah. Got a lot of work to do. This Brewer team just had a phenomenal year.
Really good. 2-2. Hit on the ground is short, and this will score a run. Double clutch. Lindor, throw to first is in time, but Turang crosses, and the Brewers have the lead.
Well, you see the ability to productive outs. If you make contact, you've given yourself a chance. And so they're chopping it through to short, and all of a sudden now the Brewers pretty much manufacture run by good base running, aggressive base running, and just the ability to make contact.
So the Brewers have retaken the lead, and it's Garrett Mitchell. Severino Diaz. Line drive, right field. And a catch is made in right by Marte. Youngest player in the majors, Jackson Chourio. A line drive and a single to knock in a run. Now they scored it a double. Either way, the Brewers have the lead.
Oh, this is from Rad. Okay. So change up, boom. Boom, fastballs, slider, change up, fastball, fastball, change up. Oof, it's nasty. That last, okay, he has it here.
Wow, he's in. Hey, we're changing pitchers here, gang.
Okay.
You got to be, yeah, I don't know if I would do that then.
Okay, who we got?
Yoel Payamps.
Payamps.
What's up? You're watching the 2024 Wild Card Series presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Get internet how you want it. And a new pitcher for the Brewers. Pat Murphy going to the pen, and he's bringing in Yoel Payamps, one of their stalwarts down in the bullpen. A 3.05 ERA and a 25% K rate. So Payamps takes over for Peralta after Freddie goes forward. This one drilled left field. That one back some more, and up against the wall. And a catch is made. Holy cow.
I mean, he does it all, and this is an excellent job by going back. And Chourio gets the clear jump, but also the jump off the ground. Two jumps that were excellent. Watch how this travels. It goes back, he turns, he's inching, doesn't even see the wall, so he's going to pay the price for that. And he squares his back, and that's the key. See how he turned his back towards to kind of brace for contact, so you don't get hurt, and also you don't get the ball jarred out of your glove.
Great play out there in left. We talked about difference makers in this postseason. Jackson Chourio, I think he was just chatting with Mike Estabrook saying, yeah, right up against it. But outfield defense, elite level outfield defense for the Brewers. I mean, their team defense overall sensational. They won the team Gold Glove last year. And internally, whether you're asking Matt Arnold, who runs their baseball ops, or Pat Murphy, they think their defense is even better this year.
Well, just think Chourio, this is rookie year. I mean, he's, moving around, play left, and yet can make key plays like that.
Right away, Tyrone.
Only 68 pitches for Freddie Peralta. Two and two on Tyrone Taylor. That one lined to left. Chourio is there, jumps, and it's off his glove and then rolls to the wall. Taylor around second, he'll stop there. So Chourio not able to make the play that time.
Yeah, this ball, you talk about the route he takes, and this ball looked like it had some funk on it. I mean, you talk about how this ball is moving, and he comes in and then realizes his angle is too sharp. So then when you jump, and you're always in trouble if you're jumping way before you need to, because the angle is too sharp. So he tries to recover by jumping and finds he's too short, hits the end of the glove, and then rolls out there for the extra base hit or the error.
This one lifted into the air left field. And Chourio back. And makes the catch. Taylor will stay put.
And sometimes as an outfielder, when the ball is hit, especially when someone fights it off, lefty, you can get sort of this knuckle and cutting action like a pitcher. And we see that these guys all season long were excellent. Second in defensive run save, second in outs above average, defensive efficiency, converting balls into outs.
Yep.
I mean, these guys did it all well.
And I think it's interesting too, because you're looking at a group, and you know, one of the teams that really established defense as the floor for a team, the Tampa Bay Rays. That's kind of where it came from, and especially outfield defense. Remember, they were playing Kevin Kiermaier so deep because they wanted to prevent extra base hits. And go figure, Matt Arnold, who was David Stern's assistant general manager, now runs the show for the Brewers. Yeah, he came over here from the Rays.
I mean, what it says is I'm not really worried about the ball in front. You know, it's like, especially a power hitter. I'll give him the single. I'm taking away all the extra base hits. Unless it goes over the fence, I'm going to make sure I have a play on it. And so it cuts down on those extra base hits.
Now, one of the things as it relates to Chourio that you do have to remember is he is a center fielder by trade. So I don't think he had played any left field prior to this year. So an adjustment for sure, but still very talented defensively as Lindor will take his base.
Yeah, look, and I can attest to how tough that is. I mean, I played center throughout the minors and then started off in left field, and it's a different angle. And the ball's on top of you quicker. In center, it's like your speed and your angles and everything is true in front of you. You kind of follow the ball, but in the corners, you have all the responsibilities backing up, and the ball is so much more quickly. You also deal with the wall more.
Yep. And that ball was smoked, almost 102. Oh, that play flagged down by Hoskins, leads over to Payamp, safe. And here comes the run in as Taylor is able to score, and we're tied up at 4.
Well, the first thing that was amazing about this was the fact that Hoskins caught this ball. He got screened, so it seemed like it was really hard to see. So he kind of falls back to make the play. And Taylor always hustling. I mean, Iglesias, bustling down the line, and Iglesias coming down. But how did he even see that ball? Iglesias dives in head first. I don't know if they'll check this out for review. But he gets the ball, tosses it, and Payamps is just late getting there. And watch Iglesias come in. Yeah, left hand gets there right before the right spike of Payamps gets there. Watch his left hand here coming through. Boom, gets the base. Payamps is not even there yet. So give Iglesias a lot of credit for hustle and busting it out.
Pat Murphy out of the dugout, and we've got a pitching change. All tied up 4-4. We're in the 5th here in Milwaukee. And welcome back as new pitcher into the game. It's Aaron Ashby, and you look at his numbers: 14 appearances, a 2.86 ERA, his 28 1/3 innings. And this left-hander has really good stuff.
Yeah, sinker. He'll change up as well. He throws the curve slider. He's got a nice mix. The sinker is the primary one. Gets a lot of ground balls.
Next offering to Nimmo is in for a strike. Yeah, that sinker averages a little over 96 miles an hour.
And I mean, that's four-seam speed when you see 99, but also with that kind of bite.
And the breaking ball misses inside.
You talk about a moment of leverage, right? You're bringing in this left-handed specialist with this kind of arm. 4-4 in the fifth, but this is a big out right here.
Big spot, tied at 4. And Nimmo fouls it away.
And Nimmo had a tough second half. Obviously a big hit in game 1 against the Braves to help propel the Mets to this point to get into the postseason. He will work the count very well.
And a breaking ball misses downstairs. So Nimmo here at the plate with Lindor at second. Iglesias is at first, tied at 4. And that one on the ground. Adames sliding play, squirts out of his glove. Everybody's safe. And it'll be an infield single.
Well, Nimmo just made such a good in-at-bat adjustment. I mean, you're facing 99 sinking left on left, and he just stays by and chokes up. And Adames, once again, the sharp angle. He's playing more on the dirt, so he has to go back in the outfield, try to get the transfer with guys with some speed. And so he could not make it quick enough, and the bobble caused him to not be able to close it out.
Vientos laces one the other way. In to score is Lindor. Here comes Iglesias. Throw to the plate. Too late. It's a 2-run single for Vientos, and the Mets have a 6-4 lead.
Well, you think about small ball and base running. Well, the Mets said, oh, we got this in our back pocket as well. Being aggressive, Vientos attacking and fighting it off to go the other way. I mean, this is a great piece of hitting. This is a lot of velocity to stay behind and punch it through. And letting the base running start. Picks up the bat and never underestimate. Look at Lindor just thinking about that. And Iglesias coming in feet first with a nice backdoor slide with a throw up the line. And, you know, we talk about Lindor doing all kinds of things, but getting that bat, I mean, you got to, you know, you're thinking about scoring, yes, but you're also thinking the guy coming behind you who could get hurt stepping on it or anything could happen. So they get the 2 runs out of it and reset.
Well, this is a Met team through June 2nd. They were 24-35. They finished 65-38, the best record in the majors. As the great Gary Cohen said, from 0-5 to OMG. I loved it.
Yes.
Pete Alonso now. And that one squirts away from Contreras and racing down to second, Vientos. So that one, Contreras just tried to keep it in front, kind of spilled away from him. It'll be a wild pitch.
Well, you get caught in between of, you know, you got to be in block mode, runner on third base. It changes that equation. Sure, you want to frame, but you also want to make sure you stop that ball from going to the backstop.
Here's a 1-0. That one in the dirt. This is the time of year, by the way, the national broadcasters come in and the home fans are furious. In this case, 2 amazing broadcasting crews. Gary, Keith, and Ron with the Mets. And of course, on the TV side for the Brewers, Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder. Rock.
Yeah, incredible.
They do great, great work. JD Martinez is going to hit here in Jesse Winker's spot.
Alonso at first now.
How about this game? Back and forth we go. You talk about a seesaw affair. Brewers led 2-0. Mets took a 3-2 lead. Brewers took a 4-3 lead. Now it's 6-4 Mets. With 2 outs, the bases are loaded, and they look for more with J.D. Martinez up. And a big swing and a miss.
Well, Martinez had his struggles, Lee. But he was able to find a way to just get those hits the last game of the season just to get that comfort. He was a big stretch.
Jack swing and he went, and now it's 0-2.
I'm not sure he got, he had a huge offer, but he brings so much to this team. Now he's just trying to fight for contact.
Demo at third, Vientos at second, Alonso at first. The pitch inside. I mean, this game has had some traffic. This is the 27th plate appearance tonight with runners on base, both teams combined.
Wow.
The 1-2. Dash foul back to the screen. J.D. Martinez. The Mets signed him late, March 22nd. Or March 23rd, actually, to be correct. 1 year, $12 million. A guy who was very familiar with him, David Stearns. The 1-2. And that is in the dirt. And I say very familiar with him.
Yeah.
David was familiar with J.D. Martinez from his time with the Astros. In fact, David Stearns was in the room March 22nd of 2014 when J.D. Martinez was released.
Ouch.
And began the journey to the Tigers and onward to becoming one of the elite guys. He grounds one through the right side. That's a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Vientos. He's in. J.D. Martinez off the bench knocks in 2 with a single. And the Mets have opened up an 8-4 lead.
Now Carlos Mendoza got questions about whether J.D. Martinez would even be on this roster. His struggles were that profound. 6 for 55 in September. But he brings so much more than just those numbers because of what he's meant to this team, improving the hitting approach of all these hitters through the lineup, but also the ability to hit left-handed pitching.
First one to Starling Marte, misses. Ashby ready and deals. And that's too high.
Well, Ashby's not been able to locate his secondary pitches much at all. He's had to rely on that fastball a lot, and it's a good one, the sinker, but the Mets have been able to time it up well.
Here's a 2-0. And that one clipped the K zone, but plate umpire Alex Tosi said, no, sir.
And you mentioned the framing. That's a tough one to frame when you're coming and your mentality is down to up. Hard to get that pitch that's up and try to bring it back.
The 3-1 or 3-0, I should say, is ball 4. And now Pat Murphy out of the dugout, and he's going to make another pitching change. Nick Mears up. Well, how do you like this? This Brewers bullpen that's been so outstanding this year has not been able to stem the tide. The Mets lead at 8-4. Back here at American Family Field, Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Here's Tyrone Taylor. And he laces one to center field. Coming on is Mitchell, and he makes the catch. The Mets score 5 times, all with 2 outs, and take an 8-4 lead.
Yeah, right here. Thanks. Welcome back to Milwaukee with the Brewers manager, Pat Murphy. How do you settle things down after that kind of an inning?
Yeah, it's great credit to the New York Mets, man. They put balls in play with 2 strikes. They hit the ball the other way on the ground. They wouldn't be denied. We put 2 of our best relievers in, and they took advantage of them. Credit goes to them.
Tell me what went into the equation to pull Peralta after 4 and 68.
It's a playoff game. It's not about number of pitches. He wasn't throwing the ball as good as he could. He had the rough inning. He got out of the next one. He did okay. We didn't want him to go 3 times around.
Thank you, Murph.
Thank you.
Back to you, Boog. Welcome back to Milwaukee with the Brewers manager, Pat Murphy. How do you settle things down after that kind of an inning?
Yeah, it's great credit to the New York Mets, man. They put balls in play with 2 strikes. They hit the ball the other way on the ground. They wouldn't be denied. We put 2 of our best relievers in, and they took advantage of them. Credit goes to them.
Tell me what went into the equation to pull Peralta after 4 and 68.
It's a playoff game. It's not about number of pitches. He wasn't throwing the ball as good as he could. He had the rough inning. He got out of the next one. He did okay. We didn't want him to go 3 times around.
Thank you, Murph.
Thank you.
Back to you, Boog.
All right, Jesse, thank you. As Luis Severino gets back to work, and his pitch count climbing here, bottom of the 5th. Adames swings and pops it up, sounding like he broke his bat. Iglesias on the dirt. And 1 away. Well, go figure. The Mets, who played 2 yesterday, as it stands right now, it looks like their bullpen might actually be in better shape than the Brewers for games Wednesday and possibly Thursday.
Yeah, and
we'll wait and see, though.
Yeah, and it might give Severino a little bit more room to breathe, just because, you know, being conscious of that bullpen reality from that doubleheader.
And by the way, good work there by Jesse Rogers, which dovetails nicely to a point I want to make.
Yeah.
Yes, as I was saying earlier, this is the time of the year the national guys come in. We're, of course, rooting against your favorite team, both teams. That's usually the way people take it. And giving a shout out to Gary, Keith, and Ron. Sideline reporters with people too. Steve Gelbs, love you. Sophia Minert on the Milwaukee side. Both do. I mean, it's 2 great broadcasting crews. So I did need to, you know, I needed to amend that because leaving Gelbs out it's not right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bauer's here. And the count is 2-1.
Alvarez snatched that almost out of disgust. The way he caught that last pitch. He's like, all right, man.
Severino ready. Turns, kicks, delivers. That one foul tipped into the mitt of Alvarez. They do have Jose Buto up. Three-two. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And Severino's gotten the first two here in the bottom of the fifth. The Mets lead it 8-4. Game one of this National League Wild Card Series.
And this is where he's made some improvements. Severino, that arm side, outside corner to lefties, elevation, but he's getting in the zone. He's getting on the black more. He was missing consistently. Now he's back in where he needs to be.
First one to Hoskins. And that is in for a strike. Luis Severino, I mean, you rewind, you go back to 2017, 2018. Those 2 years together, 63 starts, twice an All-Star, a 3.18 ERA. He was magnificent. Then he dealt with some health issues, and from 2019 through 2021, so 19, 20, and 20, 18 total innings at the big league level. And then last year with the Yankees, his knee bothered him. He was a mess, and ERA over 6.5. In the offseason, he went to Driveline out in Arizona. That was before he even signed with the Mets. Added the sweeper, worked on the sinker as well. And now kind of back to his old self. The 1-2. And this one popped in the air. I think he broke Hoskins' bat. Iglesias there, and 1-2-3 go the Brewers. End of 5 here in game one, and the Mets lead at 8-4. Well, how about the Mets postseason odds according to Fangraphs? I mean, you go the low point on June 2nd, 24-35, and then that uptick, and eventually yesterday, game one of the doubleheader, they secured their playoff spot, finished with 89 wins. But it was looking rough. And speaking of probability, how about the win probability in that game? The great Sarah Langs. Whee! The Mets are right in great shape. And then in the bottom of the ninth, the top of the ninth, I should say, unbelievable. And that comeback fueled by Lindor in the latest stage of that game. Carlos Mendoza said, yeah, we needed to celebrate. They gave him some time, and now here they are. And they're up 8-4 in game 1.
Well, I love those probability graphs because they're really storytelling. I mean, they really show you, like, you think of like a great action movie and the hero and the villain, they go back and forth.
All right, so here comes Francisco Lindor, and this is the home run against Pierce Johnson, 9th inning, and he got it. Watch him run around the bases. I mean, the biggest hit of the year, and he just puts his head down, nonchalant as ever. As Lindor fouls one off. I spoke to Francisco Lindor pregame, and I said, okay, so what's the difference? That homer, you were kind of nonchalant. And he said, you know, I've hit some big home runs in the postseason before, and I was kind of like, yeah, all right. This one I was like, this is what we're supposed to do.
We have another half inning to get through here. And, I mean, that's the thing. And the little things, just picking up the bat, you know, coming up like, how does he think of all these things? But he contributes in all these facets, but also the big hit. And I know you can't exactly figure out what makes clutch, but you know it happened in that moment. And that was a huge moment, the moment for the Mets season.
Are we about to get into a clutch argument on national TV? This one in the air out towards center field. And Mitchell under it and makes the catch.
Yeah, well, they love Lindor for his versatility, and he had so many good years in Cleveland, and obviously the big contract coming over to New York. But this is the year he, put it all together.
4th year with the Mets, he's just been sensational. I think it's especially fun when the great players that have the spotlight on them and everybody's thinking, is he going to do it here? And then the guy does it, whether it's Harper in game 5 of the LCS against the Padres a couple years back, or whether it's LeBron James. You know what I mean? When it's the biggest guy coming through, there's something about that I think just stimulates the sports fan, because ultimately we want to see our teams win, but we're also inspired by greatness. This Milwaukee team putting together a really sensational season, really from start to finish. They were in first place 178 days. Mears a 2-1. Center field, Mitchell is right there. And Mears able to get them 1-2-3. Back here, American Family Field. Young Brewers fans on the march. And right now, on the wrong side, the Mets lead it 8-4. It's funny listening to Pat Murphy talk about giving credit to the Mets. I felt like the next sentence out of his mouth was going to be, they're doing it like us, right? I mean, that's the grit and the resiliency that they showed.
Yeah, not using the long ball, but you see they're chipping away. They're going first to third. They're going the other way. They're making contact. 2 outs, 2 strikes.
Big swing there and a miss from Sal Frelick.
I mean, and that's exhausting and a little bit demoralizing for a team. You're like, you can't put them away. You can't put them away. That's what the Brewers have done to their opponents all year, and I'm sure there's plenty left in the tank for them to continue tonight in this series. But that is what the Mets have brought today.
The 0-2. Frelick, then Ortiz, and then Terang. Frelick a double and a run scored his last time up. Nobody on, nobody out, bottom 6, 8-4 Mets. Chop to the right side. Alonso has it underhand. Severino steps on the bag. 1 up, 1 down.
Let's talk about Severino and how he's been throwing on that arm side. Like early in the game, he's missing on the arm side. So he's missing away to lefties into righties, just off the plate, even hitting Hoskins. But watch the adjustment he's making now, getting in the zone with that sinking action to break bats, but also get the elevated swing and miss. That is in-game adjustment, and that is what Severino has done well tonight.
One of the things that is interesting to watch, you talked about a trend that the Rays started, and the Mets do kind of follow it. If you watch Francisco Alvarez here, he's not moving around very much back there. So it is basically set up in the heart of the zone and then let your natural movement take place. Look, these guys are throwing harder than harder. It's hard to throw it in a teacup when you're throwing it 98 miles an hour. So the catchers aren't setting up in many instances on the edges, etc. You know, the average miss for a pitch is, in terms of intended target, is in the range of about 10 inches. So it's just set up in the heart of the plate for the most part and go. That one off the outside edge as he was trying to get him to chase on an 0-2 pitch.
Well, you also have to be careful with a catcher, especially with runners on base, of moving too soon.
Yes.
You start giving away your target, you give away the pitch, base runners take advantage of it.
That one outside. Severino pitch count up over 100 now. He goes to the rosin bag. Right-hander ready, and a 2-2 on the way. Fly ball out towards right center. Taylor and Marte converging, and Taylor makes the catch. Now for the Mets in September, one of the things that they got was great starting pitching. 271, and a bullpen that had been uneven at times. Doug, they were getting so deep into the game that they were able to match up in the pen, and it took so much pressure off of the bullpen. So it's one where the starters can aid the relievers in their performance, right?
Well, that becomes the big advantage of going deep, setting up your bullpen. And you think about who it came from, right? Sean Manaea, Quintana, the guys who are veterans that had to kind of reinvent themselves this offseason.
Here today, the Brewers have 4 runs on 8 hits. They trail at 8-4, but to Severino, only 3 balls have been hit hard. So only 3 balls at 95 or above. And so he's been suppressing hard contact. That's in the air left field. And Nimmo is there to make the catch. And another 1-2-3 inning. Severino, if that's it, and likely is, 8 straight to finish. Back here watching the 2024 Wild Card Series presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Get internet how you want it. And Aaron Savali will take over. And here are the numbers for the burly right-hander.
Well, he produces those numbers with a whole lot of pitches. I mean, he might throw the rosin bag as an option because he has cutter, sinker, curveball, sweeper, four-seamer, even a splitter slider. But really, it's about the cut action that works for him.
Pitch in for a strike. Well, some question about who would start game 2, and Savali was in the mix. That one laced to center, and Mitchell able to make the catch.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, when you're in the outfield, you have to jump for a ball, and you're not at the wall. You're feeling like you didn't take the angle exactly you wanted to take. Sometimes you just run out of time. It's hit hard, and you have to cut it off. But that adjustment, because you were too sharp, you have to jump to then corral it. And the danger in that is you come down and that ball's rattling around the runner or the batter. Is it standing at third at least?
There's a good breaking ball in there. Mets leading 8-4. We're in the 7th. Savali.
Vientos just an incredible season. I mean, just hitting over 500 slugging percentage against righties and lefties. A lot of swing and miss, but a lot of home runs.
Tapped softly foul. A guy who got an opportunity in both 22 and 23. Yeah, those 2 years combined, 81 total games and just a 610 OPS. And then this year getting the opportunity and OPS north of 830. Comes a 1-2. Hit in the air. Frelick in and towards the line. 2 outs. And now Pete Alonso. Savali, who was originally drafted by Cleveland in 2016, traded to the Rays at the deadline last year, and then the Rays dealt him to the Brewers in early July this season. The 1-1. That one curling foul, and Alonso's going to need a new bat. Pete Alonso intentionally passed his last time up. He's walked twice here today. It's debuting in 2019. Only Aaron Judge has hit more home runs. A little ode to Grimace and the spikes there.
I talked to Carlos Mendoza before the game. I said, you know, would you be all in if you had a Grimace City Connect uniform? And he didn't say that he would be an all in. So. But I mean, you know, embrace it. Full purple Mets City Connect. 2025. That's my prediction.
Scouting school though. Grimace, bad body. 1-2. And that's in the dirt. I mean, I can kind of relate to it if I'm being totally honest.
Well, the thing about Grimace that throws me off is he wears his glove like on the wrong fin or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
It's backwards.
Yeah, I get it.
So, you know, left-handed glove, wrong hand. So there's a problem right there.
Here comes the 2-2. Check swing, appeal to first, didn't go for Siegel down there. So it's gone the distance with Alonso. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty. We're in the top of the 7th of game 1 of this National League Wild Card Series. The Mets 8, the Brewers 4. The Brewers had leads of 2-0 and 4-3. The Mets put up 5 in the 5th, all with 2 outs. And a pitch. And that one in the dirt, and it's ball 4. It's a 2-out base runner. If you're just joining us, where you been? In the American League, the road teams both prevailing. The Tigers and the Royals. So home teams may start this postseason 0-3. Last year's road teams were 26 and 15 in the postseason. J.D. Martinez swinging and missing.
Yeah, this crowd is really trying to get back into the game, guys. That 5-run inning took them out of it. I think they're feeling a little deja vu. The three of us were here last year when they blew leads in both games against the Diamondbacks in this round. We're seeing it again here, and you mentioned some stats, Boog. In the wild card era, teams that score first win 67% of the time. But during that time frame, the Brewers are just 8-9 and headed to 8-10. So scoring first has not done them well, which is interesting because they've had a good bullpen during this run.
Yep, no doubt they have had and still have a good bullpen. Still though 9 outs in their pocket on the offensive side, and yeah, last 4 postseason, you're talking about leads, and they have not won a postseason series since 2018. J.D. Martinez down on strikes. Time to stretch here in Milwaukee.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Brewer.
Hey, time now to take a look at tonight's active play of the game. It's brought to you by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
The opposite field hitting of the Mets and the hustle. Look at Tyrone Taylor coming all around on an infield single. And then Vientos going the other way. This is beating the defensive alignment by mixing it up and going opposite field. J.D. Martinez continues the hit parade. A lot of these with 2 outs, a lot of these with 2 strikes. The positioning was beat by just Mets making adjustment against the curve.
By the way, that Jackson Chourio 4th inning double has been changed to a single and an E8. If you're scoring at home, and if you are, good job. First one to Chourio is in for a strike. Some defensive changes as the Mets have Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald's brother, into the game at second, and Iglesias bumps to third and takes over for Vientos. Next offering from Jose Buto misses, and the count is 2-1. Chourio, a pair of singles in this one. The 2-1 in the air, right field. Marte has it, and Chourio retired. Well, for Carlos Mendoza, the trust tree may not have a ton of branches as it relates to the bullpen, but Buto, you would say, is one of the guys in the trust tree.
Oh yeah, without a but I've seen him quite a bit this year, just in the games that I've done. But Buto has been really sharp for them. I mean, you got the velocity 4-seamer, which he's unafraid to elevate. He sinks it. He's got the changeup and slider to bring in the breaking ball and the spin.
Here's a 1-1. Contreras has knocked in a couple of runs. He's 1 out of 3. They got William from the Braves in December of 2022. The 1-2, a little bit high. And we mentioned at the top, he tied for the major league lead in catchers in terms of Fangraphs WAR, top OPS. He's turned into a really good player. 2-2. Buto fires. That one in the dirt.
Well, you could definitely make the case that he may be the best catcher in the game.
Yep.
He's certainly in that conversation, and you know, he's a little bit more offensive this year than he was last year, on more defensive balance, but his offense took a step up. You know, he still throws out 23% of the runners, which is a little above league average.
Swing and a miss, and Contreras is down on strikes. Buto gets him. Well, this is game 3 of 4 on the day in the playoffs. Manny Machado and the Padres. He's got a franchise record, 167 homers. First pitch, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Braves and Padres out there at Petco. It'll be game 1. Carl Ravitch, David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, and Buster Olney. The Sunday night crew will have that call. That will be a fun series. Speaking of good bullpens, Padres shored things up. Yeah, they got some dudes down there.
It's escalating nasty. That's how I describe their bullpen.
Yeah. That one chopped out to short. Lindor handles and throws out Mitchell. A nice easy inning for Buto. We'll head to the 8th in Milwaukee, and the Mets are on top. The 2024 Wild Card Series is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Get internet how you want it. And here in Milwaukee, Brandon Nimmo and the Mets want a win in Game 1. And they lead at 8-4. Starling Marte against Aaron Savali. Marte fouls one back. Marte, the veteran, 36 years old. This guy's had a good career. Twice an All-Star. Twice a Gold Glover. And if you feel like winning some money from your friends, ask them who the active big league stolen base leader is. It's this guy.
Yeah.
354 steals for Starling Marte.
And he's just been sought after. Remember, he went to Oakland and stole all kinds of bases for them. I mean, he's experienced.
But like getting our nerd on for a second, his career OPS plus, so that 100 is average, is 115. So he's been in his entire career 15% better than league average.
Nice.
Put it in the regular numbers of 783 OPS. Just a really good player and a good defender. Taps softly back to the mound. Savali grabs it, throws to first in time. One up, one down. Fans wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. Are we going shopping later?
You know, I cruised the shop last week. Just very impressive. They have this blue shirt with like a grill on it. Kind of fascinating.
First pitch in for a strike to Tyrone Taylor.
I mean, it fits, you know, it was City Connect, you know.
Right.
You think of the brat.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to add like an impossible sausage to the sausage race.
Wow.
I'm looking for something like that.
One of the sausages went down in the race.
Yeah. Happens.
Two down on Taylor. Taylor getting to start in center field. The pitch. And that breaking ball drops in there. Nasty. And Savali freezes Taylor. I mentioned the sausage race, and I guess maybe a little bit of a metaphor as the Brewers started so well, and then the Polish sausage. Look out. Oh! Polish sausage goes down.
This is a non-contact injury right there.
So now I think that you just, if you go back and look at the tape, he tried to high-five somebody, and you're getting a little too cute there. You got to put the one in your pocket, and you can't be high-fiving people.
Yeah, a little overconfident. Polish sausage there.
Dougie, you and I this is the time of year where we spend a lot of time together. We're here doing television. We will move on and do the division series and the LCS for ESPN Radio. That one lined to short. Is there any chance I could get you to race the flash in Atlanta?
Well, if you want me to blow out both hamstrings, absolutely.
I'm sorry, Polish sausage. Mets lead. Well, coming up, Matt Olson and the Braves trying to pick up a win in Game 1 against the Padres. 8:30 Eastern right here on ESPN. And the winner of Braves-Padres will take on the Dodgers. So it'll be light travel for Game 1, whoever wins that. Meanwhile, the winner of this series will take on the Phillies. And a swing and a miss from Adames. Some changes defensively into the game in center field. The Gold Glover Harrison Bader. And Tyrone Taylor bumps from center to right. What just happened here? Alvarez, I'll say it's going to be a pitch clock violation. Yeah, I think he was getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
And it is a pitch clock violation. He started to sort of lunge towards the plate, and it was just too late. So with that last offering, it's now 2-1.
Well, it's amazing how quickly the pitch clock just fused into baseball culture.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of got used to it, figured it out. It was a big deal, and then it became normalized.
2-1 bounced foul. 2-2. Mets 8 runs, 7 hits, and an error. The Brewers 4-8-0. Brewers won the Central by 10 games. Carlos Mendoza's team had to play a doubleheader on Monday. They won Game 1, and that clinched their postseason spot. And the first time since 2022. And prior to that, 2016, the Mets last in the playoffs. 3-2. And this one hit in the air. Acuna is out and makes the catch. So Adames retired. This one, after loads of offensive traffic in the early going, is settled in, and the pitchers have kind of taken over. Buto has come in and retired the first 4 that he has faced, and now it's Jake Bauers. Remember, Edwin Diaz threw 40 pitches yesterday, and Carlos Mendoza would love nothing more than to stay away from him. He may even be down. Obviously not going to reveal that.
No. Well, and certainly the Mets would like a few more runs, cushion, to make that a lot easier of a decision.
Deal 1. Bauers in this one 1 for 3. Check swing and a ball downstairs, and he went, says Alan Porter. Alan Porter, the third base umpire and the crew chief. 6-man umpiring crew. Alex Tosi, our plate umpire today. Chris Siegel at first, Vic Carapaz at second, Alan Porter down there at third, Nick Esterbrook down that left field line, and Brennan Miller in right. Offer just missed, dotting down and away, and it is 2-2.
Buto tried to get the late movement and get the freeze just a little bit off the plate.
Bauers waits, and that is called strike 3. Got him. Bauers is gone, and Buto has gotten the first 5 that he's faced.
I mean, this is a pitcher's pitch. I mean, you can't make a better pitch. Look at this location. The glove's there, the frame is there, and it's right through that corner. Takes a little bit off. And there you see the one leg, the bent leg, being able to pull the ball up into the zone or hold it right where it is.
Hoskins pulls that one foul down the left side. 0-1 on Rhys Hoskins, who was hit by a pitch, and that forced in a run. He's also grounded into a double play, and he has popped out. The former Philadelphia Philly, a guy with Postseason experience. The 0-1 is tapped foul at the plate.
And Hoskins, we spoke to him a few days ago about the year, and he's played about 130 games. Not what he wanted to do, but considering he came back from a serious knee injury where he missed the whole season, he's happy where he is. He's got a chance to contribute. He's in the postseason.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Buto overwhelms the Brewers. We're headed to the 9th in Milwaukee, and the Mets have the lead in Game 1. Back here, American Family Field, as we take a look at our game track. The Mets scoring 5 runs in the 5th, all with 2 outs. And meanwhile, for the Brewers, good day for Bryce Terang. The Mets with an 8-4 lead as we head to the 9th. And Lindor skies this one. Ortiz waiting on it. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Sometimes Lindor tries to jump on that first pitch. He has a plan. He's very prepared. He's looking for his pitch. And sometimes you look for your pitch, you don't get the swing you'd like. But more often than not, he's been really successful at early in the count attacking.
So Ollie deals down and away. And ball 1 to Jose Iglesias. Talk about a hot hitter. He came into this postseason having hit 22 in a row. And it was not soft. 395 with a slug of 477. Pretty cool story, though, man. He signed in December of 23. Didn't make the team, as we mentioned, and then spent 2 months at AAA. And he has been a huge presence for this team, offensively and defensively. Ortiz throws him out, 2 away. Folks, be a part of history by helping select the 2024 All-MLB team presented by MGM Rewards. Vote today for the players you believe had the best performance this season. Terms and conditions apply. See MLB.com/All-MLB for details. I think Ohtani's probably going to make it.
He might.
Nimmo here. Big swing and a miss. Brandon Nimmo, 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Mets lead at 8-4. They've been out hit today, 8-7. That one blocked foul out of play. We haven't had any scoring since the 5th. And in fact, we haven't had any hits since the 5th.
It seemed like Nimmo worked on cricket in the offseason here.
On the ground, right side, Terang. Brilliant defender. Gobbles it up, throws him out. And 1, 2, 3 go the Mets. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Brewers. .30 Eastern. Ozzie Albies and the Braves trying to pick up a win in Game 1 on the road in San Diego. Albies with 5 runs batted in the doubleheader, and we have a busy day coming up tomorrow. The best of 3 wild card round rolls on. 4 Game 2s. You got the Tigers and the Astros, 2:30 on ABC. Royals, Orioles, 4:30 on ESPN. We'll have Mets, Brewers here, 7:30 on ESPN, and then Braves, Padres cap tonight, 8:30 on ESPN 2. Ryan Stanek will take over, and here's Sal Frelick, 8-4. And a fastball in there at 98 for strike 1. Mets pitching has retired 14 in a row. Stanek ready, fires. And that's upstairs. The Brewers, Doug, had 11 base runners in innings 1 through 4. None since.
Yeah, give Severino a lot of credit. In-game adjustments. And then Buto to continue that trend. And, you know, that's what it takes. I mean, the fact that he had the room to do so, maybe partly because of the doubleheader yesterday, but he really made his pitches he needed to make and give them 6 innings.
Swing and a ball flared out into right center field. Bader is there. He's got it. And Frelick is out number 1.
Now, Stanek is a big strikeout pitcher, 67 strikeouts in 55 1/3, 63 appearances this year, and at different times he's closed out games. So this is something familiar to him. He does it with a 4-seamer. We've seen high 90s, upper 90s. He has a splitter and a slider.
Here's Ortiz. Bounces that one foul of third. I mean, at least thus far, this couldn't have gone much better for the Mets. in that they get 6 innings out of Severino and no need for Diaz. And again, I don't know that in a 1-run game that he necessarily would have gone to him. Swing and a miss, and Ortiz comes up empty there on that splitter.
But sometimes it's, you get warmed up too, right? Sometimes you're using the bullpen, and that's work. That's something that can tax you as well as a reliever.
Here's the 0-2.
See the 99, so he's got the velocity, and he's got the swing and miss. Just sometimes the command gets him, but
1-2. And Ortiz lifts that one foul and out of play.
He gave up 8 home runs in those 55 1/3, so the long ball periodically is an issue. 25 walks.
A dribble foul.
But as we established, or this game certainly has, the postseason is not only a different month, a different season.
Indeed, the postseason underway here today. Tigers winners, Royals winners. Ortiz pops this one up. Stanek racing over there. Called off by the polar bear. And Pete Alonso makes the catch. And the Mets are 1 out away from securing game 1. Since this wild card series started, it began in 2020 and then for good in 22 and 23. The game 1 winner wins it 88% of the time. And now it's up to Turan to keep the game going. By the way, that would have been a heavyweight collision between Stanek and Alonso.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to get. Someone was about to tackle Stanek. They needed to get him out of there.
The 0-1, a check swing, didn't go.
I thought I would see Carlos Mendoza over there. Just, like, what are you doing? Don't need any injuries, and it's loud and it's enclosed, so it's hard to hear.
One fouled away. Last year in the playoffs, just over 49% of the runs were scored on home runs. Here today, in 3 games, or 2 including this one, none of the runs have scored on homers.
Wow.
A 1-0 game, a 3-1 game, and this one 8-4. No homers today.
Shout out to pitching defense, small ball.
There we go.
I don't know.
1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and the Mets take game 1 here in Milwaukee. Stanek closes it out, and the Mets on the road and take game 1.
Well, the Mets played more of what the Brewers are known for. They executed on the bases. They took the extra base. They took the walks, showing discipline at the plate, and they stacked them together one after the other. And you see the collective hitting approach shine through, the ability to go the other way and beat an excellent defense to put them out of position. And they were aggressive at the right time. And when you combine that with Severino, who bent but didn't break, found his location later in the game to give them an extra couple of innings, it set up the bullpen. And the big win is to save Edwin Diaz on top of that. So, kudos to the Mets. Played a different kind of baseball. Didn't rely on the home run, and they won anyway.
Yeah, indeed. And after a grueling day yesterday for the Mets, where they play a doubleheader, travel here to Milwaukee, their pitching staff retires the last 17 Brewer hitters in a row. And OMG, the Mets are up 1-0. Downstairs now, Jesse Rogers with Francisco Lindor.
Frankie, I'm not going to say this topped yesterday's win, but it's pretty darn good. What's the mood in the dugout there as you get down twice in this game?
The guys, they stay confident. They believe that we got what it takes to score a bunch of runs, and it was just a matter of us putting quality at bats together and believing in each other. Nobody's trying to do too much. Just passing the baton.
You've played behind Luis Severino all year. How well did he settle down there in those middle innings?
My God, he executed it perfectly. He had a game plan, and he went after it. He executed. I'll be behind the plate. They both had a good game plan. They executed it. And then Boots are coming in, fantastic. And then Stanek at the end. It's a great overall team win.
How can you describe the last few days for the New York Mets? I mean, is this OMG? Is this grimace? What is going on?
This is a baseball season. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of shenanigans. There's a lot of traveling. We just got to stay the course, keep climbing, grind with each other, and hope for the best.
I got good news for you. Tomorrow's game starts 2 hours later. You can get some rest.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to be with my girls and get some rest.
Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah, thank you.
It's Francisco Lindor. Back to you, Boog.
All right, Jesse, thanks very much. So the Mets fans that got a chance to watch their team here on the road were treated to a rally and a victory. And the Mets now up 1-0 in this series. Again, the winner of this series takes on the Phillies. The road team is now 3-0 thus far in the wild card series. Up next, Braves and Padres. How about the Met pitching today, Dougie? Impressive.
Yeah, especially you talk about the back half of this game. Incredible job with the bullpen and Severino making those adjustments.
Timely hitting, great pitching. Mets win it 8-4 and take game one. We'll see you tomorrow for game two at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. For Doug Glanville and Jesse Rogers, I'm John Sciambi. Thanks so much for watching here. So long from Milwaukee. We send it back to the studio and hand it over. Kevin Connors, Xavier Scruggs, guys, take it away.